Welcome back, everyone. North American lower finals here. Winner of the series moves on to the grand finals to face off against Cloud9. It's OTK versus Method NA.
Super tease. Super tease.
The
Moonkin has entered the arena.
Kyrian. I don't want to see those. I'm just kidding. We like Kyrian. Like,
We love
don't mind it.
He's got his little owl servant just going on in there.
Does Kyrian get Convoke?
No.
No. No.
Okay. I'll let you guys talk.
Kyrian is a more conservative pick. But I think Method NA got outpicked here. I think this is one of those things where they were expecting a cleave setup, and guess what? It wasn't a cleave. Now they're met with Sam I Am on the Fire Mage. Big setup here on Trill. Hammer of Justice out of the leg sweep. This is really big trouble. They get the diffuse magic, they get the trinket, but Prev was there. Sam I Am, honestly, he could have counterspelled those regrowths, and that would have been a lot scarier. So definitely need to isolate Drake. Next time, I like the targeting. Going after the Windwalker Monk's super good, but they need those interrupts on Prev in order to actually take him down.
It's the Monk showdown, and it looks like Drake is winning so far. Ooh, juicy Cyclone, keeping him nice and low here. And a triple DB, though, coming out from Sam I Am. Can't follow it up, though, with the sick in-cap onto Sam I Am. But here we go. Trill has to trade out that Karma anyway, and Drake is on the run. He's like, I got the button. I'm just going to peace out and not overextend for now. But Drake, he's out there. He still has that Karma on him, but Trill's got to be scared here moving forward. No trinket, no Karma. He's basically relying on Sea-Doo completely to save him on the next go.
All right, let's see if Sea-Doo is ready to protect Trill here. Trill cycloned, giving opportunity for Method NA to set up, but Sea-Doo's too far away behind the pillar, getting ready, anticipating, sidestepping back and forth. Moving in closer to the fight, looking like he wants to go for a Hammer of Justice. Drake's just retreating away from it, realizing no medallion on the Monk is a dangerous situation. Trill's getting blasted by Prev out in midfield at the moment. Sea-Doo's into a full cyclone. Drake gets stunned up, though, in the reverse. He gets bopped out of the stun to reverse back onto Trill. Sea-Doo responds with sacrifice. Now Drake on the back foot. Back and forth. Sea-Doo's sacrifice dot damage is massive on him. Prev is swapping over to Sea-Doo, launching out some Star Surges, trying to get a Divine Shield out from Sea-Doo as well amidst this exchange. But Avenging Wrath healing looks like it's going to be enough to stabilize. Although I do appreciate the sentiment of swapping, and they still got momentum. I mean, Drake's gonna pop Swen. Maybe they just go after Sea-Doo here, get Divine Shield. Trill and Sea-Doo pin. Sam I Am's in a Cyclone. It's 3v2 here. Sea-Doo struggling a bit. If he gets interrupted, it's easily game over. He's at 30% remaining health. Prev's trying to get in line of sight. Trill is still just so low on health. Sea-Doo is struggling. His entire team. Okay, Divine Toll not struggling anymore.
Yeah, certainly not. Big healing coming in. What are they going to do? Hammer of Justice here on Trill. Sam I Am diffusing the situation just a little bit with the Dragon's Breath. Now looking for a Polymorph. Can he find it? Ring of Frost gets dropped down. Doesn't find it on anyone, though, and it will be Trill on the run. But he needs to be careful. He's got no trinket. He's behind the pillar here in a one-on-one with Drake. Touch of Karma will trade. Drake gets the main objective there. Now Trill, he does have the trinket rotating back up, so feeling a little bit safe, but I think both these teams have kind of realized going after the Windwalker Monk is going to be kind of the main objective. Get him in a stun, get crowd control on the healer, and then try to get rid of Sam I Am, get rid of Prev so that they can't actually defend their Windwalker Monks. Bit of a strategy change here by OTK as they decide to go after Prev. Our brain in a prime position, very far away. Prev finding Cyclones, and traditionally, Moonkin is very, very tanky, so I think it's going to be difficult for Trill and Sam to actually take him down. See, though, trinket from Prev in bear form should be enough to be more than okay, just kiting away. But that wasn't the combustion. That wasn't that much damage. A bit surprising. Going after Trill now. Trill's in so much trouble. There's no sacrifice. The beam goes out onto Sea-Doo. He trades the Divine Shield very quickly, but just no emergency healing left for Trill. And Method NA, they will take that game. Beautifully done by them. And I honestly thought they got outpicked, but maybe they realize this is a really strong comp.
I've been saying that this is a strong comp on Twitter. There is proof. I really want to play this composition. You know, usually when you see the mirror matchups, you see them tunneling down the mage and really putting that pressure down. But it turns out Boomkins can go bear for him, and so it just looks like something that and not only that, but you can't dispel Cyclone like you can Polymorph. So the cross CC is always ludicrous. We're going to take a quick look at that replay. And one of the biggest criticisms I think I have for Trill right here is I think his karmas were correct. I think that he would have died if he didn't use the 2 karmas. But when you don't have bubble sack or trinket sack and you don't have karma available to you, you got to be cognizant of where your port is. And I think at the end there, they set up onto Trill, and I think he overextended just a little bit away from his port. I could be wrong, but either way, his trinket port came out just too little too late. And they are going to take game number 1 for Method NA. But I don't know. That was a very close game to me. I think both these teams pretty evenly matched right now. But the edge in this type of matchup, even though it's not a mirror, it's close enough to a mirror. The edge in this matchup feels definitely in favor of Method NA.
Yeah, definitely.
Stun, this beam. Look at that. The beam. He actually divine shields as fast as he can, but he's got no buttons to press. And
Trill didn't actually have trinket.
He had no
I don't think
trinket,
he
so he
had
was
trinket,
caught in a stun. Unfortunately, not able to get that transcendence down, but still, just that was really quick. I mean, overwhelming damage there by Prev and Drake, and they have to be very careful of that. And I kind of wonder.
Holy.
How
Prev's
is this
damage
one
is like crazy, actually.
Yeah, Moonkins are pretty good. Moonkins are pretty good for sure.
Can you confirm,
They're
Sid?
decent. Yeah.
I wanted to
So-
play this with Sid, and he told me no.
No,
Sid, you're goofing, man.
He
You're
didn't want to
missing
play
your
with
title
my
right now.
Night Fae Windwalker monk.
no. You can get your
horrible.
little.
That's kinda fair,
I
though.
don't even know the name of it because it's so bad.
That's messed up.
Savagery.
I'm changing my covenant. I don't like this.
It's about time, man. That thing tickles. I'm sorry, Elliot. We did some testing earlier on today, and I'm a Kyrian Windwalker. And Elliot's not. He's a Night Fae Windwalker, and I think mine's better. That's a guess.
I'm just fighting words.
All of Ven's friends are leaving him because he picked Night Fae.
Actually,
No one
though,
wants
like,
to play with him.
It's kind of messed
man.
up.
That's
Whatever.
man, rough. I'm sorry you have to go through that, Ben. Yeah.
The
Okay.
tribulations. I don't feel bad. He's a Windwalker monk. Even if he picks the wrong covenant, it's still going pretty good, I think.
Oh yeah, Dance of Chi is
you
good no
play
matter
with
what
me.
covenant you're in.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's really harsh, Subatees. You gotta lighten up a little bit. But Method NA already up 1-0
Ven's
here.
asking for it. You know, he went Venthyr Mage instead of Night Fae Mage. Like, he's not going into the good covenants, you know?
Dude, poor Ben. It's
True.
like in
It's
EU,
your
it's
fault.
like
You brought
yes,
this on to you,
hex all
man.
the mages. and, now,
is-
and now in NA, it's like, see, Ben, this is what real Windwalker monks do with their covenants.
You see the weapons of
I'm
order?
sorry, man. We appreciate you.
Okay.
You
Ben
could
looks
have that.
uncomfortable now.
You could have that. What made you want to go Night Fae?
I picked the one that I like the most.
Was
I
it the
don't know,
transmog,
sorry.
the story?
Maybe Subatees because it's a fun covenant. Have you been?
Is it fun
to-
though, Ben? Do you have
Have
fun
you
being
been
Night
to
Fae?
the Queen's Garden or?
I actually
It's
did some of the Night Fae
beautiful.
campaign today. You like the soul
Maybe.
shape?
The soul shape's
Who
fun.
doesn't like the
I
soul
don't know,
shape?
it's not that good. People
Yeah.
actually, whatever. This is unbelievable.
No, it's
Didn't you
true.
see
When
who
I
won
play
the-
Windwalker, the first
the
thing I need to
contest
do,
as well?
Aya.
Huh?
Oh yeah, I was about to say the only thing that when I play Windwalker, I'm just like, man, I really wish I had more mobility. You know?
Yeah, I
I
was
better
gonna
play
say.
Night Fae.
I played Death Knight. I played Death Knight, and like most people are going Necro Lord. I went Night Fae, like
You
because
went
I'm a
Night
slow.
Fae too?
Yes, I was okay. Well, I originally was gonna play Frost, and Night Fae was sitting better
okay.
with Frost, and then I switched on
Yeah,
Holy,
yeah.
which was the. But anyways, I wasn't gonna switch back because listen, having Soul Shape as a Death Knight is very nice. Okay, so don't
That's
be a hater.
fair.
All right,
Slappy
Ben,
hands.
you are valid in your choice of Night Fae. But anyways, it's
Yeah.
game number 2.
Slappy
Method
hands.
NA versus OTK. Slappy Hands is overrated.
Wow.
Yeah, I get him. Here we go. Both teams actually opting to stick with the same composition. I like it. I like that OTK has the confidence in this composition, even if the first game didn't go their way. Prev looks like he's going to be the starting target for Trill. Hodge goes out onto Brian. Sidu getting aggressive, even throwing the hammers. The Ring of Frost lands onto Brain to follow it up. What kind of damage is Prev going to be taking? Not a whole lot. Bear form is activated.
Bear form is activated. I think the frenzied regen is probably a little bit more of the reason. Prev's actually getting blasted. Are they just gonna go? Wait, what are you saying again? Say that again. Say that again.
Hey, come on, that was a little.
Say that for the people in the back.
Hey, you know what? I want Super Tees to watch this replay and watch the replay.
Yeah, break this down for us.
Yeah, break it down for us, Super Tees, exactly what happened to allow this kill to happen, because I feel like Prev got incredibly greedy. Like,
What? He bark skin and press bear form.
Yeah, and then he was 10% health casting Cyclones while Combustion was still active.
I mean, if he gets kicked, it doesn't really matter at that point. He doesn't have bark skin anymore. I actually don't even think it's bad if he gets kicked after he's bark skinned.
Okay.
But watching the start of the game, they obviously wanted to prioritize Prev, which usually isn't normal. Maybe Trill, I think, is probably running Tiger Eye Brew. Is it even possible for him to have it stacked that high that early? I'm just double checking if he's running Tiger Eye Brew or not, because
He's not.
I don't think he is. So no armor penetration. They just blast Prev out of nowhere here right at the start. He's already 50% health, so he bark skins, goes in bear form, knocks Trill on his fist, tries to line of sight, gets hit by Ring of Frost on his way line of sighting the mage. Sea-Doo's hitting him as well. I think he frenzy regens here, so he's going to get a lot of health. He goes back to full health, goes into bear form again, stampedes away. He's trying to line of sight Sam, trying to come back to Brain's line. He bashes Sea-Doo to stop Hodge as long as he can, and then he thinks he's fine. He comes into Moonkin form, and then Sam I Am pops Combustion, and Sam I Am just, I think, KOs him with a Dragon's Breath on Brain. So Brain trinketed, but did he get CC'd on his trinket? It was just like a whole bunch of things going out of control. I think Prev probably did what you were thinking, is like, I'm a boomkin, I can't die. I just lived all the CC. He's coming out, I'm fine. And then started playing the game, but needed to be a little bit more worried in that situation.
All right. Well, look at this. This is probably the fastest draft I've ever seen. Both of these teams are already ready to go.
That was a fast lockout of the Moonkin. What the? I think they only want Prev. I think they're afraid of Windwalker DK. Although they blind locked Moonkin, and I think they're afraid of Windwalker DK. Like, they'll take the mirror when they can get the mirror, but if they don't know it's a mirror, they'd rather have Boomkin in case it's Windwalker DK.
Huh. I believe that.
That's clever.
I think them winning game number one. I did say that at the beginning of game number one. I think they got outpicked. But they managed to pull off a win. Maybe going after the Moonkin, too vulnerable of a target here, so they're going to have to bring in Ceralium, go for the mirror match, just straight up who's going to play better, and I like it. Very quick draft, Tiger's Peak. OTK seems like I think they're confident in this matchup, so we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. On paper, I feel like this is the number 1 and number 2 Windwalker Fire Mage Paladin in North America for sure, so we'll see who comes out ahead in this mirror.
This is some big energy from OTK facing off against Method NA on their own composition, basically, not shying away from this mirror on the Tiger's Peak as well. These guys are tied up now, so this match really could go either way here. Game number 3 in a mirror, OTK versus Method NA.
I'm so excited after watching that last game. This type of matchup, Windwalker, caster, healer, seems extremely explosive, and I'm all about these type of games. Tiger's Peak, game number 3. OTK strikes back with a huge blow onto that Boomkin, but there's no Boomkin in this arena, Super Tees. How's this gonna go down?
I'm just disappointed now. They instantly put him on the bench. He couldn't last 5 seconds. He gets benched. Sam I Am the target here. Sea-Doo crowd controlled, Trill crowd controlled. Sam retreating away. Frost Nova on the images. Well-timed Frost Nova. It's basically about shutting down the Windwalker's pets. You don't really think of a Windwalker as a pet class, but all of their damage effectively comes from pets. So if you can Frost Nova the images, Frost Nova, Ring of Frost, crowd control them with Dragon's Breath, just whenever there's a bunch of pets on your screen, you just want to crowd control them as much as possible, and you remove a significant portion of the Windwalker's damage. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, these mages are taking quite a bit of damage. Ring from Trill on the ring to deny the knockback potential there. Nice play by Trill as both monks continue pursuing each other's mages. Sea-Doo's moving up. Sea-Doo wants to get aggressive. Blind swap to the Paladin. No, they're setting up on Ceralium. Blind on the Windwalker, Poly on Brain. Brain gonna trinket. This is Zwen the Tiger out from Trill, so he gets Dragon's Breath, Frost Nova. Ceralium with a really well-placed Frost Nova here into Ring of Frost on the pets. He's just crowd controlling the Tiger as much as possible. That was a good response, avoiding line of sight, waiting for the cooldown. Sea-Doo in a paralyzed, but Ceralium isn't getting too aggressive, realizing that Zwen is still out. Drake holds on to his Zwen, so that's still a threat in his back pocket. Here come another set of images. Brain has to respond. popping that sacrifice. There wasn't any way for Cerulean to crowd control the images this time from Trill, so they are going to get some work done.
Yes, certainly. Sam I Am on the back foot just a little bit right now. Drake all over him. It's been good control from both these teams. Sam I Am sneaks in a poly on Brain. Full leg sweep on Cerulean. This could easily be an ice block, and it is. He's not going to mess around. I'm a bit surprised. Didn't want to trade out the trinket, kind of just realizing, you know what, even if I trinket here, it's probably going to be an ice block anyway, so good discipline there, not overlapping the two of those together. Good play there. Sea-Doo, Brain, even on mana at this point. Both mages still taking huge hits, but it is, of course, Sam I Am who is ahead. If they can get the ice block here, it would be massive. Beautiful Ring of Peace, though, by Trill. He paralyzes and Ring of Peace Cerulean. There's no crowd control now on Sea-Doo. Out of the body, like, maybe they land the Ring of Frost. Sam I Am all alone, using his displace to try to get away. But a big swap here over onto Trill. Sacrifice trades from Sea-Doo, as Trill was going to be in a lot of trouble with no trinket available. I like that swap by Method NA, really keeping OTK guessing.
Yeah, that's another button, and two very big buttons. Trill doesn't have Trinket available to him, but he does have Karma, but he is susceptible to dying in a stun. Lockout on a Sam I Am, he gets dipped down to half as well, and Sea-Doo's popping the wings to keep his team alive. But at the same time, he wants to get aggressive. He's running in for the Hodge on the Brian. Surely he'll land it here any moment now. Doesn't look like it just yet. Drake reconnecting onto Sam I Am. Both teams looking to start their goes, if you will. They're waiting for the DRs. They're waiting for the CC to come off of cooldown, and they want to get aggressive. And both teams opting to go in the same strategy. Incap goes out on the Sea-Doo. That does it, but it doesn't matter. Trill goes down. I was about to say Sea-Doo's now going to be DR on Polymorph. Who needs a Polymorph when you got damage like that? Method NA. Take Tiger's Peak.
This is the second time in the series where Method NA has had so much damage, just overwhelming amounts of damage. And even though Sea-Doo has the Divine Shield, he doesn't have anything to do. Like he doesn't have the emergency healing, he doesn't have the sacrifice. Even though he has the crowd control break, it's just too much damage to handle. And Method NA, man, they pack a punch when they have everything lined up.
You know what doesn't make sense to me is why aren't they playing Warrior Mage? I just feel like Cloud9 was just dominating with Warrior Mage, and now suddenly this lower bracket is just Windwalker Mage mirrors. Method NA could have played Warrior Mage if they wanted to in the matchup, but they opted for the mirror. Felt maybe more confident, or maybe it's a statement. I don't know. But just look at this setup. It's so clean. Sea-Doo's running in aggressively. He wants to get a stun so bad here, I think, or maybe a blinding light, but he's just not going for it. Holds on to it, then pulls away. And I think this is where Sea-Doo gets caught in a little bit of crowd control, and they just completely ice Trill. There's no medallion on Sea-Doo, no medallion on Trill. They polymorph Trill to hold him back here. They're waiting. They Dragon's Breath Hodge with an incap. The incap bubbled instantly, but it didn't matter. That combustion got all the value it needed to get and just outright crushed them. So you got it's even those little split. We get a lot of long games, but then we get games like this where they just get the perfect little crowd control, and you just need a couple of seconds of combustion, and you just end the game.
Well, Brain got the killing blow. Nice. Hammer Rats peeking in there.
So it's a really effective strategy against Windwalker monks for multiple reasons. So both these monks are tracking the opposing leg sweep for sure. And when the monk is 100%. Near you, you're dancing around. Basically, you're using your Fist of Fury when you know they have leg sweep available. You're trying to roll away. Maybe you portal away if you realize you're in trouble. But this is really hard to deal with, and it's something it's happened to me before, and it's something I like to do as well. You just paralyze the healer and you Hammer of Justice. If you get in that position, it's really difficult because it's incredibly hard to read. Both of them are instant. You can basically just do a 3-2-1, paralyze the healer, Hammer of Justice, and then with the combust, you saw what happened to Trill there. Really, really effective, and it's difficult for Trill to really react to that.
Mm-hmm. You know what I want to see? I want to see OTK pick up Fire Mage Warrior.
Okay, yeah, it's true. They could get who's Mez?
Yeah, Mez.
Why did they drop Mez playing Warrior? I think it was at a point where he was practicing Warrior a bit. I feel like he's been playing his Ret more, and I don't see them being able to use that. They don't have Ret Warrior if he's the Warrior, unless Trill's Warrior. Trill could Warrior. I don't know. It's just weird to me that they prioritized Warrior Mage so much yesterday, and then Cloud9 is still prioritizing it, but these two teams aren't. It just seems weird to me that, like, Method NA, in my mind right here, They don't want to go Warrior Mage. I think they're going to blind lock Moonkin Mage. They're expecting a melee cleave, and I think they're more worried about the melee cleave into their mage. But they should just play Warrior Mage. I mean, they just watched it. It's still weird to me.
Yeah.
I'm expecting Boomkin, but it's weird to me that some teams aren't doing that, even though it's been confidently winning when they've done it.
Yeah, I think as a blind lock, it makes a lot more sense for Method NA, but they're going to be going with that comfort, potentially. Drake on the Windwalker Monk, Prev on the Balanced Druid, and I think that means OTK is likely going to go with the Fire Mage Windwalker once again. But I don't know. The game looked really close. I mean, it was Method NA that ended up winning the matchup on the Grand. They did lose on Tiger's Peak, but I feel like it was a bit of a fluke kill, honestly, on Prev. It was like a combustion kind of out of nowhere when he got interrupted, and then he was perfectly in range for Touch of Death. So I think that was a fortunate kill there for OTK. I don't know if it's going to play out exactly like that if OTK decides to play the Windwalker Mage again.
All right, we're going to find out here what exactly they decide to play. There it is, Windwalker Fire Mage for OTK against Method NA, who have decided to hop back on that Moonkin. Supties, does that make you happy?
Yeah. It's nice to see, some non-mage teams, I think, in a couple of the games. So get a
That's
little
what I like
bit
to
of
call chicken
Popcorn's
mage.
cold.
chicken mage.
Yeah,
think it's a
Is that what we're
chicken
calling
mage?
it?
chicken mages. Think about it, man. They're basically chicken mages. You got spammable CC.
I
You got
think
bear
Moonkins
form.
might
That's
get
basically like
offended if you call them
Triune.
chicken mages. They
Yeah,
don't want to be
chicken
mages.
Yeah.
All right, fine. Owl mages.
my
Is that
own
better?
class.
Is that a better
Yeah,
bird?
there's their own spec, their own class. Okay, there's a lot of pride in
Yeah.
being a Moonkin.
There is.
I'm an independent moonkin. All right, whatever, man. You know what? You're a
You know
mage
what makes
with feathers,
Moonkin
okay?
better than mage? You know what Moonkins do that mages can't?
What?
What's
They can
that?
Flap.
Yeah,
You
they
have
don't go
displacer
anywhere.
bees. You basically got blink. It's the same class, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Have you
a
seen
new
what
skin.
they look like?
Displacer
What
bees.
Wait,
Moonkins look
displacer
like?
beast? Are we in mock?
That's old news.
I was
Are we
waiting
in
for it.
mock?
I was trying to skip over that. All right.
Have you guys seen what they look like when Moonkins are being held by like the blue guys in Bastion?
No.
that is
Yeah,
awesome.
when
They,
they
like,
grab
flap-
your neck. It's weird.
Well, no, but Moonkins specifically like flap their wings, and it looks really troll.
Oh
It's really
man, look at this feast we have to go with our popcorn. Just a little bit of cobwebs, but just brush that off. That's prime.
Yeah, that
What's
doesn't
the shelf
look
life
that
on this
appetizing.
stuff?
That does not look appetizing. I don't know what you're talking about, David. You're
Oh, it's a
recommending some
preservative.
dangerous food right there.
The shelf life on that food, it goes bad at 30% dampening. To answer your question, production. But here we go.
Oh, no.
Prev on the Moonkin. Let's see which mage will win, the chicken mage or the blue mage. Trill getting stunned up here. He's gonna immediately trade the diffuse magic as well as the touch of karma. That's a lot of buttons for Method NA in this opener.
Okay, I mean it's a fair trade, I think, but maybe not actually. They held on to Celestial Alignment. They're on Prev again. He's in Bear Farm. Barkskin, Thorns, tanking it. Frenzied Regen. That is the combustion this time around, so he's not going to have that threat a little bit later on. I think this time he saved Barkskin for that trade rather than activating it prior to the combustion, so he'll be stable for a bit. Although another round of images. Jumping back into Bear, jumping with Wild Charge away from the images. All about crowd controlling the images or kiting them in this specific matchup against the Windwalkers. Now the Windwalkers just punching each other in midfield. And Trill's caught up in a stun, now into a clone. Sidu isn't able to top him with that Avenging Wrath. It was a nicely timed clone. Sidu may have to spend a lot more mana than he would have otherwise. Drake, it looks like he's being targeted a bit here, rolling back onto Trill, trying to punish that medallion. Maybe they go for a Hammer of Justice in cap, something like that. There's the Hammer of Justice in cap, but Sidu has a trinket. He gets blinded on his trinket! He may have to Divine Shield here as well. Zwen is out for Drake. Samayam's desperately spamming polymorphs. Star Surges are incoming. Celestial Alignment, Fury of Elune. Prev is loading up huge pressure here. Sidu denies it with the Avenging Wrath and Sacrifice, but that Sacrifice is redirecting damage to Sidu, and now Drake's going after him. It's still with the Avenging Wrath. I don't think they're going to be able to punish it too much here. They're blasting Sam now with the remainder of the alignment. Ring of Peace protects Prev here as he's ducking into Bear Farm, anticipating incoming attacks. Trill has a lot of damage available. Prev needs to be in Bear Farm, using Disorienting Roar to set them up for a double leg sweep. Now caught in a double DB by Sam. Sidu in the Paralyzed, Trill in the leg sweep. Nice Paralyzed stun setups from Method NA. If they just keep it clean and simple like that, I see them pulling off a win here, which is dangerous for OTK on match point.
Yeah, it certainly is. Samayam pushing for crowd control, and Prev will back Drain up with a Solar Beam, and that denies Samayam from getting any control of his own. I really like these setups. Very consistent coming in from Method NA. Trill now into a Cyclone, freezing his health. Do they have any crowd control on Sea-Doo? Prev looks like he wants to go for it. Do they have a Paralyze? What do they have? Bash on Trill. Big damage. Hammer of Justice. It's going to be the Trinket Karma. And OTK, they are on the back foot. Method NA, these setups with this Paralyze are looking incredibly powerful here. But at the same time, big setup here onto Drake. Where's the damage to follow it up? Transcendence to get away, Vivifies on himself. Method NA, they get a bit of a reset, they get some breathing room, but look at Sea-Doo. There's no outs. Right now, Method NA, there are one setup away from closing out this game.
And that Combust got nothing done then. Trill has Diffuse Magic. That's like basically all he has to him. No Trinket on either Sea-Doo or Trill, but only for 13 more seconds. The blind hits, leg sweep goes down. What kind of damage do they have? Whirling Dragon Punch comes out from Drake. Trill on the run. He is out of there. Sea-Doo and Trill seemingly reconvene, and Trill's health is going to be okay for now, but it looks like Drake is going to give up on this go and just wait a little bit longer, and somehow, some way, Trill survives what I for sure thought was going to be his life. Now Sea-Doo has that Trinket sack for the next time that the big go happens. Full Polymorph lands onto Brian. Prev gets CS. What kind of damage do they have, though, to take advantage of the CC? Doesn't look like much at all. This is going to be very difficult for OTK to come back in, but maybe this full drink onto Sea-Doo is exactly what they need. Cyclone goes out onto Trill. Where is the CC follow-up? Nothing, but do they even need CC? Trill completely gets crushed there for just a second, and now Karma in just a few short seconds will be available.
Let's see if they can hold out. Huge hit of damage on the Trill. They're going to pop the Karma off. It seemed a little bit anticipated by Brain, though. There wasn't a lot of damage. They may punish that, setting up some damage on Drake. Drake pre-karmas the incoming stun. Nice play by Drake. Sam is cloned. Drake should begin to survive. He's popping Zwen on Trill. No Trinket for 12. Leg sweep is up. Drake could close this game out if he connects onto Trill. Ring of Peace locks Trill in this side of the room. Fist into fist. Turbo fisting each other. Parrying the Fists of Fury. Nice play by Trill. Good response to the Ring of Peace. Now kiting across the map with the Flying Serpent kick. We see Trill finally caught in the leg sweep, but no crowd control on Sea-Doo. We should be able to heal him up. Drake's anticipating an attack, forced into the room. They swap to Prev. Prev has Celestial Alignment available. There's no Karma, no Diffuse. This Boomkin is going to blast in a second. Trill's trying to turn it around. Zwen popped onto Drake.
Whoa! Big
pressure onto Drake. Brain needs to get ready. Are they going to trade Sacrifice? Getting some big heals. Drake's recovering with the Fist of Fury. Cyclones onto Trill, stopping the connect. Sam trying to reposition. Sea-Doo back in the room. Trill likely still the target here. Has Trinket. Needs to be in range of his port, though.
That certainly does. Hammer of Justice on Trill. This could be the game. Sea-Doo, what is he going to do? He trades out his Trinket, but doesn't have to use the Sacrifice, so that's good. And Trill still has his Trinket available, so there's a bit of time here where as long as OTK is careful, they can survive these kind of one-shot goes. At the same time, Drake taking a huge hit of damage. They're actually swapping over onto Sam, getting some decent pressure. Drake forced to run away using that Transcendence. Beam now over onto Sam, denying some of his cast, denying any crowd control on Brain, and they might actually be able to get an Ice Block here. Sea-Doo having to power through and heal through a lot of damage. That was the Celestial Alignment from Prev. Not going to have that available for quite some time. Look for a full Cyclone, managing to find it, denying damage on Drake. Now they're looking to reverse the pressure. The stun goes out onto Trill. There will be a Blessing of Protection from Sea-Doo that keeps him alive. So lots of cooldowns being traded by both sides. 6% dampening. Both these Paladins relatively even on mana. And it's just going to come down to these clean setups. Drake's vulnerable, though. I like the fact that OTK is really trying to punish the enemy Windwalker mode.
Absolutely. But here we go. There's the setup. That's the Karma. That's the Diffuse. All in a single in cap. OTK respecting the damage out from Method NA. But they're trying to push through. Now they're trying to go on to Drake themselves. Combust is popped, and Drake is on the run. Ring of Peace is going to deny Trill some damage for now, but now Trill is reconnecting. The big Fist of Fury. Drake cannot get aggressive and turn this around whatsoever. No Karma available to him, but they're going to get away with not having to use that Sacrifice. And the cooldowns on either side are looking very, very close. Trill now on the back foot, jumping down to have help. I don't even know what hit him, but he's still very scared. He needs to run away. The wings for Sea-Doo as well as the Divine Favor should top him here, but now Trill swapping the damage over out onto Drake. Drake still has that Zwen up, and Trill feels it. He is on the run. He ports back. The Tiger connects. So does Drake. Full leg sweep. Surely this will be him. And there's the Sacrifice from Sea-Doo as well as the bubble. And Method NA are squeaking out a bit of a lead here, Sid.
Yeah, that Dreambinder legendary from Prev, every time he's full Astral Power, that blue bar below, he's going to pop Fury of Elune, and he's going to just pump like 8 Star Surges. And that's what all that pressure was on Trill. That's going to be the Boomkin Blast Cannon, and Prev's got that available in another 15 seconds, so he's going to look to set that up, and there's not much to answer it here. Trill gets Cyclone, but Drake's in trouble. Brain bubbles and manages to recover. Prev's just waiting for that. He's building up Astral Power, almost maxed out at this point. He's absolutely going to blast OTK if they are not ready. They still don't have a trinket. Cedar's in a clone. Sam is low. Trill is low. If they manage to pull cooldowns here prior to the blast, they're easily going to be erased from the game. Mana at least is even, but you don't want this to be that close on your map pick, your comp advantage. Triple stun in from Trill. Huge play by Trill. Look at the team just getting destroyed at the moment. Brain's got a benching Wrath. He needs to clutch out a big heal. He's going for the slow Holy Light. Gets it. Stabilizing himself. Drake still trades out. They got a 9-second window to go for hammers down on Trill. 6-second window to go for a stun onto Trill. Are they going to pull the trigger? Trill gets Cyclone. They've abandoned it for now. And now that the medallion is available, Trill should be able to make the trade. Brain's in a blind. Drake's isolated. Trill's all over him. Looking to take this to a game 5. Drake retreats away with a flying serpent kick. Trill in hot pursuit with a roll. Star Surge is blasted out at Sam, but Celestial Alignment is available. Prev's pulling the trigger on it. Star Surge bazooka. Trill, Cedo into the Cyclone. The swap into the Mage. Sam is getting blasted down. Fury of Balloon popped, generating even further Astral Power clone after clone. Sam needs some help here. Who's going to save him? Into Disorienting Roar, but these polys on Drake have totally shut down the attack. Nice clone at low health by Prev. Trill now gets swapped to for a moment. They're really trying to attack Cedo here. Cedo's trying to find a slow Holy Light, maybe baiting something here. Solar Beam's available. He can't afford to be interrupted. OTK have managed to weather the storm, though. They survived Celestial Alignment. They just need to survive this Zwen. If they manage to do so, they'll be in a good position.
Yeah, certainly, but this is very dangerous. Trill taking quite a bit of damage right now. He's actually in hot pursuit of Drake. Drake's still on the run. Brain getting swapped to a Hammer of Justice. He does have his trinket. He's greeting it really hard. And Trill's able to put out a big blast of damage, but equally so, Brain tops himself off. Look at Cedo, though. Trades out the sacrifice here onto Sam I Am. Cedo's going to be in a lot of trouble. He's got no Divine Shield. They could go after him. They could go after Sam. Either one of them could fall. That's the Ice Block. That's the Cauterize. Full Hammer of Justice on Cedo. How can he possibly survive this? Trill just bombing in Vivifies. That's the only reason why Cedo did manage to survive, but there is no cooldowns left for OTK. They can go after the Mage, they can go after Cedo, but equally so, Brain out of mana. Luckily, he still has the Trinket and Sacrifice. Drake trades out the Karma. Trill now getting low. Method NA spicing it up, going after all 3 targets. Who is going to be the most vulnerable? That's the question.
This is unbelievably close. Trill trying to reconnect onto Drake, but a great Ring of Peace is going to stop it for now. Cedo now looking for maybe a drink, possibly, as both teams kind of take a breath and reconvene. But the Tiger's still active for Trill. This could be huge damage onto Prev as he dips down to half. Bear Form is going to be forced. Brian has the sacrifice, but does he need it? Flag sweep onto Drake. There's the huge amount of damage. Combust from Sam and Fist of Fury to follow it up onto Drake. Diffuse Magic is going to go down. Leg sweep goes down onto Sam I Am. He gets out of it immediately with that trinket, however, and he's on the run. Gets locked out by Prev on that Boomkin, and then cloned up at low health. Fantastic job by Prev. Divine Shield was forced and completely wasted. The throughput not available, but Drake is in trouble. No Karma available to him. He's on the run. Brian has 0 mana. Cedo has 0 mana. Who's going to win this, Sid?
That ring locks the door. Drake paralyzes Trill in the room, buying time for Brain to regenerate mana just a tiny bit more. Cedo in the bash. Prev has to get a clone here. They've got so much defense. Drake is just on the back foot. Trill is keeping him pinned in the room. Cedo's in the Cyclone. Prev needs to turn this around, but he doesn't have any damage to do it. Drake needs to be the one, but he's on the run. He can't get any pressure out. Just Cyclone spam onto the whole team by Prev. They're just trying to go all hands on deck to crowd control. Drake pops Swen, but he gets paralyzed into a double leg. So beautiful punish here, but Brain comes in clutch. Sacrifice on 1%, redirecting damage into an immunity. Perfectly timed. Cedo now in a blind. Method NA look to turn it back in their favor. Huge Celestial Alignment. Cedo gets the sacrifice, but he doesn't have bubble. They're swapping to Cedo. Massive swap will knock him out. And Method NA KO OTK.
Wow. Honestly, the reason that could happen is just the patience from Method NA. Brain really calculated with that sacrifice, pairing it together with that Divine Shield in the most dire moment. There was a very scary moment earlier on where he could have traded it out, and I thought he was honestly being greedy, but had he actually used it during that moment, at the same time as Drake used the fuse, the game would have ended, and they wouldn't have won. So very nicely done. turning that situation on its head. Really impressive performance. And I mean, you really have to give it up for OTK as well. Although they're going to be eliminated, they put on quite an impressive performance. But it really just shows how competitive North America is right now.